Hello, my name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be solving CSS Battle Daily Target for June 24th, 2025. Alright, so first thing I always like to do is get a general approach of how I'm going to do this and count how many elements that we're going to need. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a display flex on the body, flex column, and then center everything, and then we're going to nudge. Well, here's the elements we're going to have. This is going to be our first element, then that, then this little box here, then this pinkish line here, and then this rectangle, then this box inside of it, then this rectangle. So you've got, well, let's count the elements in a second, but what we're going to do is we're going to do display flex. We're going to put everything in the middle. These are going to be display flex as well. Put everything in the middle, and then we're going to nudge this element over a little bit, this element over a little bit. Same with these two. All right, so let's count the elements here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and so let's go over here. We're going to create a div, and I use letters of the alphabet to label my elements. I'll show you how I use this as we go along. This will cut down on the amount of characters that you use, which will give you a higher score. All right, so there's A, that's this first rectangle up here. We're just going to copy that. And then this is this rectangle here. We're going to make that B. And then we're going to put that little pink box in the middle. We're going to call that C. And now here's that thin pink, light pink line in the middle there. We're going to call this one D, and then we're going to do this next rectangle here, and we're going to use B again. And I'll show you how we can get away with this. And then that's the box inside of it, and then we need a new label for this one, so that's E, and then finally at the very bottom, that rectangle, I'm going to call this F. All right, so on to styling this. So here's our style tag. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take care of all the background colors, right? So body, C, D, and E all have background color of this light pink. And I always use background as opposed to background color. That will cut down on your characters as well. I use CSS attributes, which are these square brackets, to target all my elements. Another way to cut down on your characters as opposed to using classes and IDs. All right, and then we're going to do the background colors of this color here. That's going to be A has that background color, B has that background color, and then finally F has that background color. So we give that a background, this one here. Okay. So now we're going to deal with a little bit of positioning here. And so we've got 3 elements that are going to be display flex. We've got the overall body, and then we have these B elements. So what we're going to do is we say body, display, flex. And I left out the A, my bad. And now that applies to the A elements as well. Now, body, I'm going to jump back and forth a little bit here, is going to have flex direction of column, whereas the A elements are going to have flex direction of row, which is the default setting. So we don't need to specify that for A. And so now we want to put everything in the middle. So when we're doing row, we have a display direction of row, like we have in A. Justify content will put everything in the middle. Horizontally, and align items will put everything in the middle vertically. Now the reverse is true for columns. So column is going to put everything, justify content is going to put everything in the middle vertically, and then align items is going to put everything in the center horizontally. So that being said, both body and A are going to have justify content center. And then the body is going to have align items center. Okay. So now the body has a couple default settings, and if you're using flex direction column on the body, you need to give it a height. So we're going to give it its full height of, it's written up here, 400 by 300. We're going to give it full height of 300. It's 300 pixels. You don't need to specify pixels in CSS Battle because that's the default value. And then it also gives it a small margin. I'm not sure exactly what, but that's going to cause us problems in this CSS Battle. So we're going to go ahead and set the margin to 0. All right. So I believe that's all we need to do for the body. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to do with these A elements. I don't believe so. So let's move forward. So now we said we're going to nudge this element, this element, this element, this element over a bit. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to give them a position property of relative. So let's put that all together. So we have A, C, E, F. These are all going to have a position of relative. And that will allow us to use the left, right, top, bottom properties to move it over a little bit. Okay, so we have all that. I believe it's probably time to start giving these things width and height. So if I'm doing display column, what I like to do is I like to start with the middle element and work up, down like that, so you can kind of make sure that you have all the correct heights, basically. So we've got this middle element D, and it's got a width of 400, and it's got the full width. So we're going to take D, and the B elements as well have this width, so we're going to put that together. This is a way of cutting down on characters, right? Lumping these together. So width of 400, and then we're going to just look at the D and try to get the right height. We're not going to be able to see it right now because we've already set the background color to the same background color as the body. So just to make sure we have the correct dimensions, I'm going to set it to black. And then I think it's a height, I want to say 20. Okay, cool. And now I'm not sure why we're not seeing that. Do I have the right element? D, yes. So D's got this background color. It's being changed down there. I see the problem. Sometimes if you leave little things out like commas or square brackets, it's gonna break the whole thing. But sometimes in subtle ways, so always be careful of that. All right, there we go. All right, that's perfect. So now we can get rid of this background black, and now we can look at B. So really, all we need to do with B is figure out the height. So the height, I believe, is going to be 50. Yep, beautiful. And so B, A, and F all have the same height. So we can put A and F here. Now all we have to do is, oh, and so for that matter, so do these two boxes. So we have C and E. We could add C and E to this as well. So C and then E. All right, so I must have done something funny. What did I do? Must be a typo in here somewhere. All right, let's get rid of this for now. Let's try that again. What did I do? That's really strange. Okay, I wonder if there's another. No, that's fine. Is it missing tag somewhere? Got commas between everything. I'm going to try something here. So both C and E have a width of 50. Let's do this first. Height 50. Okay, cool. Now, one thing we didn't do. Okay, now I'm confused. So both these should be justify content center, body and A. There's your problem. All right, so this might fix all of it. Okay, cool. Now, let's try putting this back. And let's see if this is cool. All right. Not sure what happened there, but this is what I want to see. Cool. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take C, which is that top light pink box, and we're going to move it left, I believe, 50 pixels. Nope, 25, I believe. Perfect. And then we need to do the same thing with E, except it needs to be right. Oop. I think my laptop's starting to act up again. This tends to happen when I'm making videos. Not sure why. Apologize for that. All right, very good. So we got to get these last two elements, which are A and F. Have we already given them a height? Yes, we have. We just need to give them a width. So it looks like their width is 3 times their height, right? You can see that. So the height is 50, so width is going to be 150. So we're looking at A and F. And that's just a width of 50. Well, I'm sorry, width of 150, 3 times the height. All right? Cool. Now we just need to nudge them over. So if you look at this, basically we're nudging it over the same amount that we did these. So all we need to do is add A to this, and then we need to add F here. Perfect. And we're perfect here. All right, very good. All right, so one CSS Battle trick. If you notice, I've already submitted this. This was my previous score of 600.02. I had 1,051 characters, so a little bit less than we got here. And so your score is going to go up based on the number of characters you use. So the less characters you use, the higher score you're going to get. So your score is based on accuracy and character count. So first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of all the comments that were put in by CSS Battle. And we're just going to get everything on one line here. So what I mean by that is we're going to get rid of all these white spaces. So quickest way to do that is highlight the white space there. On Mac, you're going to hit Command D. It's going to go down and highlight the remaining white space. Okay. Once you get that, then we hit delete. We're going to hit delete one more time, and look at that. All your code is condensed. And then you just got to come in here and get everything on one line. This, of course, is not something you would do in real life. This looks terrible and is really hard to read, but for CSS Battle, it will give you a much higher score. Well, not much higher. We'll see how much. Probably about, I don't know, 20 points or so. All right, so we were at, 1,051 characters. Now we're down to 453 characters, right? Let's go ahead and I've got a score of 600 previously. Let's submit it and see how much our score goes up. Oh, not that much. Only 5 points, but it's 5 points, hey. All right, well, thank you for watching this video today. If you want to see more videos like this one, please like and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy your day.